Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Pix Plays Minecraft. Welcome back to Ramsfell and the Lands, where I have not been for a little while. Obviously, I've taken a little bit of a break from my daily Minecraft videos this week, just because I've had a bunch of stuff to prepare for that job interview, which went really well. Thank you to everybody who's asking me about that. It went super well as far as I know. They seem to like me a lot, and hopefully things are going to go okay for me, but I do have a little bit more work to put in for the interview. There's a couple of supplemental things they do want me to send them to follow up on the job interview before I get a kind of final verdict. So still got a little bit of stuff to do this week, so again, might have to skip out on a couple of videos. Might not have a tutorial tomorrow. I haven't really got anything planned for it yet that wouldn't take a little while to prepare. Today, the reason I'm looking at this mountain range over here is that we're going to go caving. I've kind of realised that I'm running out of resources a little bit around Ramsfell. I don't have a great deal of iron and gold and stuff, which I would want to use for a variety of projects, but mainly I just want to be able to have iron handy, because yeah, I've been doing more stuff with like hoppers and cauldrons and mine carts and that kind of thing, and those are all kind of expensive items to just make with iron that you've gathered from the ground. And I don't have an iron farm, and I'll probably set one up at some point, but I don't really have a plan to do that just yet, because automation is not necessarily my thing. I kind of like the grind when it comes to this game, and unfortunately recently I haven't really had the time to do the grind. Wow, the shovel is so efficient it kind of lagged out my client there for a second. That was kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of exploring, finding some pumpkins. Hello pumpkins. I'm not going to take any of these with me because we have a couple of them around, but given the theme of the recent Decidedly Vanilla episodes, it's kind of funny that we're encountering pumpkins out here. I want to thank everybody who left really good comments on that episode. If you haven't seen my most recent Decidedly Vanilla episode, I recommend watching it because it was a lot of fun to make. Here's a cave. This looks like a cave with some skeletons in it. Fantastic. We can start out here. I'll gather a little bit of coal as I go as well. I've got my silk touch with me, so we can always grab some coal ore, and this is a dead end. Wonderful. Dead end with 2 skeletons in it. I'll take it. I will make it my new home. No, not so much. I just want to get some resources. But yeah, the Decidedly Vanilla episode was a lot of fun to make, and I'm going to answer a couple of questions from the comments of that video here that I didn't really want to answer in the comments of that video for the sake of immersion and stuff, because people always ask kind of, how did you do this? How did you do this? What happened? And I don't really want to answer those questions underneath the video, because for a start it kind of spoils things for people who haven't watched the video but happen to scroll down to the comments anyway. But also, there's some technical details of things that I didn't really want to just share right away. So yeah, I can talk a little bit about that here, because you guys are the behind the scenes audience. I think in the single player series you just get to see the raw Minecraft gameplay, because that's evidently what you like if you're watching a single player series. So yeah, I downloaded the Decidedly Vanilla Season 1 map from our website, decidedlyvanilla.com, where you can get that yourself if you want to. Feel free to go and download the world and have a poke around. The Democratic Republic of Mushroom is there in its entirety. By the way, there are going to be spoilers for the Decidedly Vanilla episode, so I'm going to start talking about stuff that happens at the end of the episode. If you haven't seen it, then either close your ears, skip ahead, or or go and watch the video now. But yeah, I went back to that map and I turned on creative mode, because obviously you can open the game to open it to local area network and enable cheats, which yeah, allowed me to pretty much do what I wanted with that map. The first thing I did was fly up over the mountains behind where the Democratic Republic of Mushroom is, and build the map in wool. And that's how come I have a map of the maze in the game, even though it's underground, is because I've basically rebuilt the entire thing above it. In fact, I built the thing above it first, and I rebuilt the entire thing below it, which was very, very time consuming. So I recommend only doing that if you've got access to creative mode and a lot of time on your hands, because the amount of blocks that are covered by a map, that's a single map with a decent kind of scale. It's like the basic scale, but it's like a 128 by 128 block area. If you can imagine doing that in survival, that is a ton of work. That is a huge, huge amount of work. And I didn't use MC Edit or anything, which I could have, but I don't think a proper client for it exists for Linux right now, of the current version. So maybe I could have asked for help with that, but it wasn't the kind of thing that I already had the time to do. I guess I just kind of wanted to forge ahead and do it myself. But yeah, I put together the map, and then I went underground. I used commands to fill the area underground with air, just to remove all of the stone so I had the right kind of surface area, and then I went to work and I made that maze in probably, it took me about 3 days on and off. I was spending sort of 2 or 3 hours at a time building it. But I was doing this at the same time as preparing my portfolio for the job interview, so I couldn't really kind of concentrate on it the whole time. And it was time consuming and laborious, and the kind of thing that you don't necessarily want to be doing when you're, preparing for a job interview. It's kind of monotonous work. So yeah, I took a couple of breaks to work on portfolio stuff while I was doing that. And I think it really paid off though. Like I realized pretty early that the way I wanted to do it was with the shaders, and so I mutter something about having shaders enabled and not knowing why, and maybe it's the pumpkin guy that's done it, but that set of shaders allows you to illuminate your surroundings, not necessarily for the in-game point of view, because mobs and stuff would still spawn if you had that kind of light nearby, but it lights the surroundings for the client, if not the server. So I was able to basically navigate around the maze with stuff still spawning around me, with Pumpkin Guy in my hand. And obviously he was a jack-o'-lantern for that episode, where he's been a pumpkin for previous episodes, but I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was a nice storyline twist, I guess, that we had to work together to navigate the maze, and it was a maze that he had designed to a certain extent as well. Like the idea is that he's basically created this maze for me to follow my way around, and then it ends up in the Democratic Republic of Mushroom from Season 1, and yeah, I was really excited to return to that. I hadn't actually opened up the map and taken a look at the stuff I'd built for a while, and you'll notice in the background, if you take a look at the kind of final shot, that some of it is a little bit overgrown, and I've kind of not quite figured out what I want to do with it yet, but there is some kind of connection to the past. Like, the whole thing about Decidedly Vanilla Season 2 is that I'm building the Nameless Ruin, which is this kind of link to the past. There's a witch around. Hello, hello, hello. I've been witched. Oh gosh, this isn't good. And now there are spiders after me. Wonderful. Oh, no, 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 no. This is not happening. I'm not dying out here. You guys, get away. Need to hole myself in somewhere. Oh, witch poison lasts for absolutely ages too, so this is a pain. Let's go spruce wood. I can hear skeletons around me. I do not want to die right here, right now. Oh, thankfully I have some steak on me, so I can start regenerating health. Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm stuck in a hole. And we're good. Okay, great. Fantastic. Still got 3 hearts left. I can have a sip of tea while I'm here. But yeah, really glad everyone's enjoying Decidedly Vanilla. Got a bunch of great comments on that episode saying, like, this is one of your best episodes yet. Really happy with the RP stuff that you're doing. And hello, you. I brought some blaze powder with me. You probably saw that in my inventory, because I want to make an ender chest while I'm out here and potentially stock up on some ores in there. So I'm going to have a go at this guy. There we are. There we are. And now I need to go lower to find some obsidian. And it looks like I've already explored this area but left some resources in the walls. So I can grab a little bit of coal while we're here. I also want to give a shout out to the Lion's Roar, who sent me some fan art this week. Going to put that on the screen right now. And always great to get some fan art from people. I've also had some from Multi-Mushroom, which... Do I have thorns on this armor? That zombie seemed to damage himself. I can't tell if that was full damage or not. But yeah, Multi-Mushroom sent me some fan art as well, which I'll probably show off in next week's episode, because I kind of want to keep the fan art coming in a steady one per video sort of thing. So if you feel like sending some fan art, the address is in the description below if you want something to click on, but it is fanart@pixlriffs.com. Awesome to get some stuff from you guys. So yeah, I'm going to have a look around for a better cave than this, because a lot of these are kind of surface caves that I've explored before. I will come back when we have something a little bit more substantial to take a look at. Hello, this is looking promising. I like this. This has a couple of branches off. It's got this kind of structure where you can see like multiple forks heading off is always kind of promising. That's always like, yeah, there's going to be some stuff down here you can look at. And we're getting below elevation. We're actually under a roofed forest right now. And I haven't explored much of the roofed forest around this area. I think this is probably somewhere kind of off to the side of the southern plains. So maybe we will get to look around here for a little bit longer. Yeah, it looks like there's some promising stuff around here. Awesome, awesome. So let's grab the iron while we're here, and we can continue on our little journey. Like, I'm not really out to find diamonds. It's mainly kind of the lower grade resources that I'm after, and I've got enough coal now that I can probably spare it. But yeah, like if I can get some iron, if I can get some gold, maybe a bit of lapis as well. I think I've got enough lapis in the enchanter's cabin, but if I get a little bit of that, I will be happy. But yeah, plenty of iron in the walls around here. Good. Right, this is what we want. It's actually funny that I've got a zombie spawner here, which isn't the best. It's only got one spawner, so obviously it's not like the luxury of having two on Decidedly Vanilla, but you can actually get a decent amount of iron from zombie spawners. Like, I've got a decent amount just by grinding for levels, and as you can see right now, I'm level 37, so I don't really need levels right now, but it's kind of... It's an interesting, like, it's a way to get iron that people kind of discount, and obviously you have to count on it being a rare drop, so it's not always that productive, but it's kind of nice to have as like an additional source of iron. It's kind of good that they've balanced things that way, I guess. Speaking of balancing, the 1.9 update is looking ever closer, which is exciting to me because I've never really been a part of a major Minecraft update. As I've said before on this series, I've only really joined Minecraft since 1.8 came out, on PC at least. Like, I feel like I've experienced some of the earlier updates just from the lack of content on Xbox, the relative lack of content anyway. There was still a ton of stuff, but yeah, compared to the PC version when I was playing on Xbox, it was more like it was around like update 1.5, I think. Like, they didn't even have horses in the Xbox edition when I was playing, so I've kind of had like an older experience of Minecraft without actually having played for very long, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I'm really excited to be part of an update this time around, and 1.9 is looking absolutely fantastic. The creeper is apparently fireproof. Wow, just nearly fell into lava. That would have been a problem. I think that creeper may have just died. Gosh, that was not me being careful. That was not my most careful moment. But here we go. Got a couple of creepers around. Let's light up the area. Let's grab some iron. I saw some gold down there in the ravine, which we can get. And some gold here as well. Fantastic. Just the one piece. Not to worry. So, 1.9 is looking like it's going to be feature complete, according to Dinnerbone, by the end of the month. Or at least that is what they're aiming for. So they have a couple more things they're adding. I think it was Serge posted, or is it Sarge? I forget exactly how you pronounce it. It's got an E in it, which always throws me off. But yeah, he posted a picture of a new structure, and it was kind of in the background. You know the way he likes to lay in these little secrets from his screenshots, but he put in a picture basically of what looks like an igloo in an ice plains biome, which is just going to have like a chest in it. It's not going to be like a super complicated dungeon from what we can tell. He said it was going to be a smaller structure, but generated naturally in Minecraft. And yeah, it looked like a little igloo, and apparently there's going to be loot in there that you can get, which is interesting because even though when I made my... Wow, that spider was glitching out. Spiders just seem a little bit fire resistant right now, and it's worrying me. I feel like they've evolved. Since the 1.9 snapshot update video that I made, it has kind of come out that those new enchantments, Mending and Frostwalker, are actually going to be available outside of the end. They're going to be available just as kind of treasure enchantments, which means you won't be able to get them from an enchanting table or enchant weapons with them automatically, but villagers, librarians, can trade treasure enchants, and they can just be found in regular dungeons. It doesn't have to be an end city. It doesn't have to be one of the ships. It can just be a regular dungeon, which is exciting. Like, I think a few people are saying that's not particularly well balanced, but I kind of think it is. It's the kind of thing that you can grind for, so if you want mending on your tools, then you can have it, and obviously, and fishing as well is the other thing. Somebody on my Twitter timeline, I think it was Jacko Alpha, mentioned that you could get it from fishing, so you could potentially, yes, some lapis, fantastic, you could potentially get it in the really, really early game. Like, if you do a ton of fishing to start with, then you can apply mending to your tools really early, and it could basically be used for fishing rods as well, if you think about it. The mending enchantment basically applies to anything with durability, so you could, if you're getting XP from the stuff you fish up, then you could you could make a mending fishing rod within like the first 10 minutes of the game if you got super lucky. But then again, it's always been kind of like that. Minecraft is a game that is based on luck mechanics to a certain extent. I'm just going to grab some obsidian here. Sorry, this is going to take a little while, but I've got efficiency 4 pickaxe, so it's not going to be that bad. Just wanted to make that ender chest I mentioned so I can throw some of my resources in there. Because the ender chest in this world, specifically, I have not used very much. So it's kind of got like a small amount of stuff in it, which is perfect for leaving resources in it on a caving trip like this. How many have we got? 7. Just one more, and we can make a crafting table, craft ourselves an ender chest, and continue on. There we go. Bit butterfingers with the controls recently. I haven't been playing that much Minecraft this week simply because I've been working on that portfolio. So it's kind of funny getting back into the game and grinding and stuff and actually going looking for resources. Yeah, you can see I've just got a kind of tool set in here. I don't really have much else other than that. Don't put the bones in there. Cool, so we can use this as our resource chest, which is the silk touch. I don't want to destroy the ender chest as soon as I've made it. Boom, okay, we've got that with us, and we can be on our merry way. Let's grab a little bit more iron while we're here. Swap out the silk touch. I'm kind of getting used to using the number keys to swap stuff around. I still reflexively do it with the keyboard and mouse, but number keys have been kind of useful for stuff like that, especially when you've got a full inventory. I recommend trying it if you don't do that already. Yeah, try using the number keys to swap stuff in and out of your inventory, because it's a really cool way of doing stuff. Lapis in the walls of the ravine, ton of lava around. There's a little natural staircase down here, which I kind of like. I'll grab a bit of the iron from here, and yeah, it looks like this is quite a fruitful trip. I'm quite happy we're getting as much iron as we want. I do want to save some of the ore blocks as well, because using ore blocks for building is something people don't do all that often. Jordan on the patron server actually made like this huge pathway through the village, through the kind of settlement we started at the beginning of the server's life. And he built that with a ton of like resource blocks in it. I think because I gave him a silk touch pick fairly early, and he ended up using a bunch of coal blocks and redstone blocks and gold ore and like an emerald ore block because I like them. And yeah, it actually looks kind of interesting and different, and it's the kind of thing that I hadn't really considered doing much before. But iron ore blocks have kind of a similar like accent color in them to stuff like granite, and I want to actually try using granite a little bit more because I've been down on granite for a while, and I feel like it's time for me to find something that I can use it for, just to kind of make up for the amount of stick I've given it over the years. I say over the years, like I've been playing Minecraft for more than a year. It's only really been, like, this channel has been live for 10 months. Maybe a little bit before that. Maybe I was playing kind of into November, but it's really not been that long. Which is kind of mind-blowing, really, when you consider how far I've gotten in less than a year. It's probably coming up on my YouTube anniversary pretty soon, so I should probably do something for that. Make some kind of interesting video, because I've missed out, obviously, on the opportunity to have, like, 2,000 subscriber milestone video and that kind of stuff, and 5,000, because I pretty much went straight to 7,000 in a matter of days, which I'm still so grateful for every day. It's kind of ridiculous, the way that happened. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting making any kind of milestone video for me. I've not really done stuff like that before. Never really reached a level of subscription on any of my YouTube projects where I could make something like that. So, where are you? Are you up there? Upstairs somewhere? I can hear them walking around, but I'm pretty sure they're just above me. So, either that or they're through the cave wall on the opposite side. So, not to worry about that right now. There's a bat on fire over there. Bats on fire! Don't know what that was. I feel like that should be a song, though. We'll get on that. We'll make that another parody song. There is actually a parody song that's been in the works for a while, in collaboration with a couple of our friends. Kane and Clandlewood wrote it ages ago. I kind of started on the production, and then Cherry P Gamer did guest vocals, which was a pretty exciting thing for all of us concerned, except, yeah, there are a couple of things that I just wanted to go over with it, and we just haven't found the time. We've all kind of gotten individually quite busy. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult to work on that stuff when we've all got our own schedules and stuff to do, but hopefully that will materialise sometime before Christmas, is my hope. But yeah, we do need to work on that a little bit more. Pop down the ender chest, drop off the resources. Not seeing much gold right now. I was hoping for a little bit more gold. Maybe we'll get some more of that. And we are at level 11, obviously, surrounded by lava right now. So hopefully we should find some diamonds. But I'm not seeing any in the walls. So no surface diamonds. Maybe some little pockets of resources around here somewhere. We will see. We will see. While I'm here, I might throw a bunch of this stuff into lava. Because this is all stuff I can grind for elsewhere. I don't really need it. Stone, gunpowder, that kind of thing. Bones, got bones for days. I don't have a skeleton spawner on this world, but I don't think I really need one. I'm not using bone meal in large enough amounts right now to really warrant any kind of skeleton farm, so that's not too bad. Let's have a bit of a snack, and somewhere around here, I think at the end of the cave, I saw another place that we could go down into, so maybe that will lead to something. Maybe that's where the zombie and the spider I was hearing are. Don't know. There we go. Let's do a quick water drop into here. Hello, creeper. Get the bow, get the bow. Nice. And around here, we got some more gold, we got some more creepers. Hello. Creepers. Everything's sounding a little bit musical theatre today. But it's mainly because of these guys. Yeah, get in the lava. And Silk Touch, yep, Silk Touch. Okay, back to the regular for the gold. Don't need that for the gold. And maybe grab the redstone ore as well, because I'm probably going to need it at some point. I want to make some more stuff like the bud switch doors that I made. I want to do stuff like that actually in survival, because most of the stuff I've done with that has been for creative mode. And I kind of wanted to have a little bit of... Wow, this is like Creeper Cave over here. This is kind of intense. I wanted to do some stuff like that in the maze for the Decidedly Vanilla episode. I really, really wanted to put in some more traps. In fact, there are a couple of trapped redstone chests in there, like redstone trap chests, and they had TNT blocks underneath, and they had one TNT block in it, and one I even wrote out, boom, using banners. And I never encountered them. Like, you saw the size of that maze. I didn't walk through every single passage, and I didn't have like a set route when I was doing that either. Like, I basically just kind of went, I'll build this giant maze, and then I'll pretend that I've never seen it before, and I'll just walk through it like I would a normal maze. I was kind of exploring it as though for the first time, and I hadn't decided on like a specific route I would take. So I was never gonna be like guaranteed to encounter some of the stuff I put in there. I think I got most of the loot and none of the traps, which was kind of terrible. But then again, I think it made a decent episode on its own. I think I managed to sustain it pretty well. So I think we're about done for this episode. I've been waffling for a little while, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. It's always fun to do a little bit of on-camera caving, which I've not done for a while, because on DV, I tend to like caving with somebody else as a collab. So I've done that with Paige, and I've done that with Kane a couple of times, but I don't really do a great deal of on-camera caving by myself. So this was something a little bit different for the format of today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. I guess we got to read the book, huh? Before recorded history began, before there were stories, before time itself existed, something awoke. It sounds great. It had no name, and if its name was ever learned, it was soon forgotten.